this one or this one? Oh, this is such a nice. This is so cool. This is more of like a summary. I don't. What? Hello and welcome to Photo Dilettante. Apologies for not uploading anything for about a couple of months now, but you know, now it's spring, which is kind of apt for these two cameras. So what are these cameras? Well, these are the Panasonic GM-1. So I've got two of them. I ended up getting two. I really wanted the black and silver one to begin with because I love the kind of monochromatic look of it. It's lovely, and I wanted to put this nice lens hood on it, and it kind of broadens the black area of the lens, and it goes better with a black body than an orange body and all that kind of stuff. If you're obsessed about aesthetics and, you know, product design, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you're a normal person without that problem, then you're probably thinking, what's this guy rambling on about? Quite rightly, so I'll stop there. Anyway, I ended up getting two. The first one I got was this orange one last year, which I took on a fantastic holiday to Sweden and Stockholm. Fantastic camera for that. I really enjoyed it. Fantastic for travel. It weighs nothing. It's like the size of a deck of cards or a pack of cards. And then I got this one a bit later. I actually got one that was black and silver that wasn't trashed. Who knew? Very hard to get them because these came out I think 2013, maybe 2014, so they're at least 10 years old. So it's hard to get them in good nick, and they're accruing in value. They're going up in value. So this was an amazing bargain. I got this maybe this time last year, and about this time last year I got this for like £68, which in dollars is about, must be under $90, which is unbelievably cheap, and it came with a lens, with a lens as well. And these are great little lenses. This is the Panasonic Pancake 12 to 32 kit lens found on these smaller cameras. They started making about 10, 12 years ago. They're not too bright, but they are nice and sharp, and they focus really quickly. Autofocus as well. I mean, amazing. And they've got built-in stabilization. Come on, that's crazy. So that's really impressive. What else about them now? Yeah, so they're very small Pancake. They're actually aluminium, although they feel like plastic. I've taken one apart because some come with polycarbonate backs and some come with aluminium backs. When I got this one, it came with a broken lens, and so that had an aluminium back, but this silver lens I bought for it separately had a polycarbonate one, so I took them apart. I took this one apart, which was very nerve-wracking with my little micro screwdrivers, and it had all bits of microprocessors and all sorts of weird things in there. It was nerve-wracking, but I took it apart and I swapped off the backs, and it still works, which is fantastic. So yeah, they're actually aluminium. They've got a kind of polycarbonate chassis underneath, if you like, which is the main guts of the camera, but it's got an incredibly thin aluminium skin. This is an aluminium-bodied lens, which you can get with an aluminium machined backplate, which is pretty impressive. So, and these cameras are made of magnesium, so they've got a nice heft to them. They're not necessarily heavy, but they don't feel light and cheap and plasticky. They've got a lovely feel in the hand. Now, I've added this official Panasonic hand grip to the front, which makes a huge difference. It deepens the body just to maybe like 3 or 4 mil, and it gives this lovely gnarled, really nicely machined, powerhouse looking, very Leica looking hand grip, which makes a huge difference to the handling of the camera. It just transforms it. I never use it without these. Now, I got this one for about maybe £80–90, so probably under $110. But they seem to go up every month because they don't make them anymore. I got it from Japan. By the time I got this one for this camera, it was like, well, this one here, it was like £180, which is well over $200. So if you can find these and you can find one cheap, grab it, because they're as rare as hen's teeth now, and they are very expensive. But yeah, they make a huge difference. I had to get it for both. Yeah. So anyway, what are these cameras like to use? Well, before I actually do that, I'll just show you the top plate and what you've got with them. You've got your mode dial, you've got your on-off switch, and this is just focus mode. So it's continuous focus, single point focus, and manual focus, that kind of thing. On the back, you've got a nice, surprisingly grippy piece of leatherette there where you can put your finger or thumb, a recessed record button for video. You've got your playback button there, your usual D-pad. This one is silver, this one is black. And then you've got your bin button for ditching photos and your display button there. So I just simply focus on that there. You can see it's not bad. So it's all you need really. With these cameras, like all of my other ones, I set them up before I go out. The only thing I might change is exposure. With these I don't bother. As long as you've got good lighting, the exposure seems to be spot on with these, much like the Leica. So these are basically mini-me versions of this little beauty, my Leica Deluxe 7. They're basically mini-me versions of that, but with a manual focus lens which you can change over rather than the fixed electronic focus. I'm not complaining about that Sumilux Leica lens though, that is amazing. So what else can I say about them? I'd say these are fair weather cameras and grab and go or everyday carry cameras. They're absolutely superb for that. This is a kind of a mini-me version of a Leica, if you like. It's funny, some man stopped me at the train station and said, "Oh, you've got a nice little Leica there." I said, "No, it's not a Leica." I went into some kind of chat about how Leica and Panasonic share technologies and work with each other, blah, blah, blah. But he just insisted it was a Leica, and okay, fine, if that's what you want to say, then fine. But anyway, yeah, you can see the influence. You've got that rangefinder kind of look. The way these things are built is lovely. You've got this micro-peened aluminium or manganese, or magnesium rather, with these lovely milled buttons. Everything you're looking at is metal, and you've got these chamfered edges on them, gnarled edges, and they polish them, so you get this little glint of metallic loveliness, and they've echoed that in the lens details as well. Really well thought out, nice solid stainless steel little loops there for your lanyard. I've got these nice Kodak silver lanyards. I've got 3 or 4 on eBay for like a few quid. Look really good with the cameras. Anyway, enough drooling over my hardware. So what they like to use, as I say, fair weather cameras. In good light, these are fantastic, even in harsh light. So the photo montage I'm going to show you after this was taken around midday from between 11 and 1. And, you know, it's spring now, and so quite clean, but quite bright light when it's sunny. But, you know, getting cloud detail in the sky and things like that on a good, clear, hot or sunny day, these are great for that. And these lenses are pretty sharp as well. I'd say you can use them in low light, but you'd need to know what you were doing with settings and things to get the best out of them in low light. As a point and shoot camera, I'd say set them up, forget about everything else, just point and shoot and go, and leave it for good weather. So the great holiday camera if you're going somewhere sunny. Having said that, they're not too bad in overcast days either. But yeah, what else can I say about them really? This is just an impressions video, you know, by someone who is an amateur and just finding their way in the whole photography lark. But I'm getting more use out of these at the moment than all my other cameras. They're the ones that are generally with me. My X-T200 seems to be relegated at the moment to video for my YouTube channels, and it's doing a reasonably good job. But these are the things I've got on me most of the time. Especially if I'm up in the city. If I'm going out into the countryside or other things, I'll bring my larger cameras and have maybe a couple of lenses in the bag or something. But nowadays, these are the grab and goes. So, would I recommend them? If you're somebody who wants a proper camera on you all the time, these are no-brainers. I mean, the internals of these, okay, you've got micro four thirds sensor, but at the time these came out, they had the best internals they could make for them, really. They're only 16 megapixels, and I crop quite a lot, but because the sensors are of a decent quality, it's amazing what you can get away with, even with quite severe crops. In the montage, there's some images which I've cropped in, they're only about 20% of the image. You're probably going down to between, I don't know, 8 and 5 megapixels, and they are usable, particularly for online. So, depending on how fussy you are, really, but yeah, I was really impressed. In good lighting conditions, these are great. I think I've said enough. Enjoy the montage, and if you have any questions about these, I might do some more videos about this. I took this one on holiday with me last year. I might just do some videos where I just show the images and maybe talk through them, or just show them so you can see the kind of things you get from them. For the montage coming up, just so you know, I didn't do any colour grading. It was all in camera in terms of lighting and colour grading, straight out of camera. For 1 or 2 images I straightened up the perspective lines, and there's one where it was quite a noisy image with a nice photo in there, so I took out some people in it and I did a little bit of pixel art, sort of mapping people out, and then I cropped it in. I'm going to put all 3 in so you can see the stages of that photograph. And that's kind of it really. All the images I wanted to be straight out of camera, so you can see exactly what you can get out of these things in terms of quality. It is honestly surprisingly good, and they are very similar, although not quite, for obvious reasons. They haven't got the lens and the internals, but they're actually quite similar to this Leica in terms of quality. They're kind of like, so this is like a mini-me Q3, and these are like mini-me Q3s. Yeah, and this is great. This is compact as well, but these are even smaller, if you can believe it. So I'm sure there's a whole bunch of stuff I could have said, but enjoy the montage. Any comments, constructive criticisms, as always, are welcome. Thank you for turning up and watching this, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.